It's 2020 now. Should I get a bigger bike? Good afternoon from somewhere near Chiang Mai. I've brought the drift camera out of retirement because I can hear it crying to itself in the box when I'm in bed at night because it's been neglected, so I thought it was about time we brought it out again. So today I'd like to talk about 3 things that annoy me about my bike. And in time-honoured traditional, we'll do them in reverse order. So at number 3, it's not the best bike in the world if you want to go on a long trip. So say go away for a week, because the load bearing capacity isn't all that brilliant. I recently found out that if you put a top box on the back, you can't put saddlebags on the side because the bike chassis won't handle it. So, given all the camera gear I tend to lug around with me when I go on a trip, it cuts down the options for how much I can take in terms of shoes, clothes, that sort of thing. But last year I did a 5-dayer to Konkan and back, and I managed, though I seem to remember I didn't take the drone with me, and there's probably a couple of other things I didn't take. So at number 2, which sort of is in some way is linked because it's the same circumstances of going on long journeys, but this can become uncomfortable after a while. I tend to find I have to take a break every hour and a half. Now the fact that I'm a creaky old arthritic guy might well have something to do with that, actually. But in an ideal world, taking those 2 points into consideration, having a bigger bike with more comfort and a bigger load bearing capacity would be ideal. So, top of the pops at number 1 is the most annoying thing about this bike is it's far too much fun and enjoyable to ride, and it's making it hard for me to make a decision, A, whether to change it, and B, what to change it for. So as you can see, I've taken the screen off this bike mainly, well, in the first instance it was due to wanting to use the chest mount on a camera, so to take it out of the way. But actually, having had the windscreen off for a few months now, I prefer it an awful lot. It's a lot cooler, and even if you get wet, I mean, you got wet with the windscreen anyway, but because of the airflow, once it stopped raining you seem to get drier quicker as well, so even inclement weather's not a drawback to removing the screen. So in part because of that, my thoughts were leaning towards getting a naked bike, and there's no windscreen to remove. But the major problem for me with something like that is that the foot pegs tend to be further back, and because of my creaky old knees, and to a lesser extent my creaky old hips, I don't envisage that it would be a very comfortable proposition for going on a long journey. So I've kind of put that on the back burner. I have decided, if I do change my bike, that I want to get a 650. Not that I want to start going crazy and burning the roads up. But I do sometimes feel I'm wringing this bike's neck. If you get over 100 kph, it's you're talking 8,000 revs upwards, and while the red line's at 12,000, you still kind of feel you're abusing it, you know. I was sort of heading towards a temple, but it wasn't this one. So this is where I ended up. Yeah, where was I with the bikes? Comfortable seating positions, wasn't it? I think. So I know, as I think I might have said, where there's a nice Z650 for sale at a second-hand motorbike dealer. So I suppose I could always go down the road and go and sit on it and see whether it is comfortable or not. Or better still, I could see if I could hire one for a couple of days, which will give me a better idea. Just wanted to add something to the fun and enjoyment aspect of the Versys X300, which I mentioned before. About 5,000 kilometers ago, I changed the tyres on there to Pirelli's Scorpion Trail 2s, I believe they are, and it was like getting a new bike. So anybody out there who's got Versys 300 and their tyres are worn out, you want to seriously consider getting these Pirellis, because they give you loads more confidence, make riding a lot more fun, and you feel a whole lot safer and more planted on the road. It's not to say there was anything particularly wrong with the original tyres. I did 23,000 kilometres on them, and there was probably about another 5,000 or 8,000 left if I'd have kept them on there. But really happy I changed the Pirellis, and can strongly recommend them for anybody who wants to have a fun time on the bike.